What's up, guys? It's Chad here with G-Reviews, coming to you from my driveway again today. Behind me is my 2020 Ram 2500 Power Wagon. Now, if you're new to the Power Wagon game or just new to winches in general, there's something you have to do before your first use. Stay tuned to find out what it is. The first thing you're going to want to do before you use the winch for the first time is called tensioning or stretching of the winch line. Okay, right here it says it in the literature. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's in this section right here. All right, pretty much just says the winch rope must be properly tensioned before use. The following instructions are going to be in your owner's manual. All right, so there's that. Very important that you pre-tension your line before its first use. You don't want to get out on the trail and actually have to use it and have the thing all bound up and all tied up. If you guys know how to fish, or if you ever used a bait casting reel before, you know if you cast it out there and you don't put your finger on it, when it hits the water, it's going to just bird nest. It's going to be a big mess in there, okay? I've been told two different things, okay? One is Warren spools these and ships them to FCA in the manufacturing plant before installation, and then I've been told also that they actually wind them on directly in the manufacturing process. Okay, so I'm not really 100% sure. All I know is that they don't pre-tension them. The couple things you're going to need for this is a pair of gloves. You're going to need the winch remote. First things first, if you're going to want to use this, you can obviously you're gonna have to cut these zip ties, but just for demonstration, I'm going to keep it so it keeps it nice and neat. All right, it's obviously keyed. It's got a round side and a flat side. It only can go in here one way. All right, come over here. We're gonna open this up. Okay, and this thing folds up. I wish it folded down, but it folds up, but that's okay. The flat part's gonna go on the bottom like so. All right, you're gonna wanna push it all the way in, okay, until it engages. All right, now something about these winches, as far as the Power Wagons go, I'm not sure how other vehicles, no other factory vehicle has a winch as of now. The Tremor has an option, but they don't all come with them, okay? This winch is direct current right to the battery. So my truck is off right now, all right, and like I said, you know, it is on, okay? Next thing, okay, like I was showing before, up, okay, there's a clutch here. Up is in the engaged position, okay, and down is in the free spool, all right? So, obviously in the free spool, you just pull it right on out. There are a few different ways you can pre-tension the winch line, okay? One is just the old body weights technique, okay, like this. All right, two is hooking this up to a tree and actually using the truck's whole weight to pre-tension the line, or you could do something in between the two weights, either using like an ATV to pull, a lawnmower, or something. So let me show you what I got to pre-tension my line. What I got to pre-tension my line is my Cub Cadet XT2 24 horsepower Kohler motor tractor. Ooh. I'm going to put it in the free spool mode. Okay, you don't want to snatch it or pull it faster than the actual drum will go, because then you'll get a bird's nest in there. So just gently pull it using your body weight all the way out. All right, you never want to extend the line past where there's 5 to 10 wraps left on the drum, okay? On the drum, all there literally is just a screw going through the end of the line onto the drum, okay? If you pull that and it pops that off, you're sunk. You're not gonna be able to get that back on by hand. You're gonna need a whole new piece to go onto the drum, okay? So I'm gonna free spool it, I'm gonna pull it all the way out, and then we're gonna get hooked up to the tractor. Here we go. Don't know if you can see this, but the whole line up until this point is gray, and then there's this red sheath over top of it. That's important. I'll show you what it is right now. As you can see, this red sheath is actually quite long. All right, I'm going to pull this all the way out. All right. Now, looking up here in the winch on the drum. Okay, hopefully it'll focus in there. All right, if you're looking, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 8 wraps still on the drum, okay? And there's the empty part of the drum. You don't want to go any less than about 5. So 8 is a good amount. Let's get that lawnmower to the end of the winch line. Here's my Cub Cadet XT2. This unit right here, as it sits, is 450 pounds, okay? Obviously, here's the Epic hook. There's not a whole lot of places to attach on this, okay? This bar, I wouldn't say is the best. It is bolted right to the frame. This little thing is bolted. This is just where the muffler's at. And then obviously you have the steering arms, which are probably the best bet. So I got 4 of these. I use them to attach motorcycles to trailers. Each one is rated at 250 pounds, so it's more than enough. Here's what we got. All right, I got the hook going through these 2 onto there. So essentially, each one of those is 250, so they're doubled up. All right, so this is good for, 500 pounds, we'll say. The unit's 450, and it's gonna be pulling in neutral. Okay, I'm putting the tractor in neutral, and it is a very, very, very slight incline up to the power wagon. So this should be able to hold, no problem. When winching, okay, obviously this is not straining the winch whatsoever. That's 450 pounds and it's a 12,000 pound winch, okay? Same thing with a lever wind bait caster. All right, as the line's coming in on the spool, you essentially are going to want to push the rope until all the the coils hit one side of the drum, and then you want to start bringing it back the other way, so it pretty much winds like this and then winds back on like this, and it keeps going back and forth until all the length is back on the drum. Something else you want to do when you're actually winching a real vehicle, put the truck's transmission in neutral and set the park brake. Now the reason you do that is because there's only in a transmission a small metal pin that holds you in park. You don't want to put all the strain on that pin because you're going to end up breaking it, shearing it off. Alright, so again, neutral transmission, set your park brake. Something else you want to do for cooling and safety, alright, when you're actually winching in real life, you're going to want to open your hood. Okay, that's for heat dissipation. Alright, and for whatever reason, if that snaps, okay, and that heavy hook comes flying back, all right, normally it's going to snap and kind of come up, all right, it's going to go right through your windshield. All right, so if that hood is up, it's just going to come and smack the front of the truck or the hood, and that actually go through the windshield and hit the occupant. Some people still use D-ring shackles, all right, so those things can snap and just be a torpedo, all right. All right, my lovely assistant, Mrs. G Reviews, just showed up, and she's going to be driving the tractor. All right, honey, go get on the tractor. First things first, you want to come down here, re-engage the clutch, push it all the way up till it clicks. All right, once you got that done, you'd want to come over here. All right, like I was saying earlier, you want to fire the truck up. All right, put the transmission into neutral. All right, set your park brake all the way down. You don't want the truck moving on you. All right, let's get out and go to town. assistance for driving the tractor up and letting me winch her in. All right, we got 90%, 95% of the line all back in there, okay? So there you have it back in there. All right, now I'm gonna cut the truck off and talk to you a little bit more. Alright, like I stated before, you can actually run the winch with the truck off. Alright, don't do any sort of heavy pulling with the truck off, it'll kill your battery. But for something just like this, it's easy. Alright, we have about 6 feet left. Alright, obviously this is still tight. Alright, so we're going to come over here to the winch and we're just going to let a little bit off. Alright, took all the tension off the line. Alright, we're going to disconnect the tractor. Alright, there we go. Alright, we got this left over. Okay, if you want, you can put this lead back on. I have a question for you guys though. Let me show you what I see here. Alright, let's see. Right here, it says, never remove strap from hook. Can somebody tell me why you can't remove the strap from the hook? Please let me know, guys. Alright, gonna reattach this. Okay. The hook's obviously gonna go one way like so on there. Alright, so let's wind it back in and we'll be done. The last step is obviously getting all the line back in and reattaching the hook. Alright. So what you're gonna want to do, look inside of there, make sure you have it all nice and evenly distributed. Alright. This last section is not imperative that you get it all tight, okay? This bar is just going to be the last few strands on the drum, and it's okay if you don't get it perfect. So we're going to bring it on in. Alright, obviously I'm putting a little too much there. Alright. The way that it came from factory, okay, there's a W for the worn and it says 3/8. Okay, that's how I attach it. I put it just like that. Alright, you have it the way you want it. There's a little cotter pin here. Make sure that it is not going to dig into your fairlead. Make sure it's just facing straight up and down. Alright, and then all you're going to do, make sure your hand's not all in there. Alright, and just bring it on in. There you go. Now make sure you remove the plug. Alright. Now, on the plug, alright, there's going to be pins and there's pins, alright. You might want to get some dielectric grease or some sort of a, grease to put in there so these leads, the pins don't get rusted, alright. If you take your vehicle off-road a lot and actually get a lot of water or salt water in here, that is not good, but get some dielectric grease to help it not rust. Thank you for watching my how to tension your winch line video on my 2020 Ram 2500 Power Wagon. Alright, it is important you do this step. Alright, I know a couple guys that have gone off-roading. One was stuck himself and one other was helping somebody. And they had just installed new winches, and a lot of winches come pre-filled with the winch line. Okay, and they tried to go out and retrieve somebody and the winch line was all tied up and knotted. Alright. One was unable to get it undone. It was just too gnarled up. One guy was able to pull it all out and get it out. So it is important to pre-tension your winch line. Alright, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the description below. And as always, have a great weekend. Have fun.